Big progression changes are coming today to Halo Infinite that's going to address some of the community's concerns about things not feeling very rewarding. They're all going live at 6 PM today UK time, and in this video I'm going to explain to you what they are and why I think they're probably not doing the right thing. Halo Infinite's multiplayer shadow dropped a couple of weeks ago and I'm having an absolute blast of it. I love it so much. It's a huge amount of fun and it's really refreshing after playing so many years of Call of Duty and Battlefield. It's really nice to go back to some Halo, having like some fresh Halo to play. The changes they've made feel really good, but it does feel like that classic Halo, more so than Halo 4 or 5 did. That being said, it's not been entirely smooth sailing, and I think most people in the community are kind of one mind on this. The progression system is utterly bizarre. So, experience does exist in the game, but it's only used for battle pass progression and progression within the sort of special event battle passes, which we've had the first one of this week. There's no player levels, there's no weapon levels, nothing like that. And the only way to get experience is by completing challenges, or at least it was at launch. So at launch, the only way to get experience in the game was by completing these weekly challenges, and you basically get 20 of them each week, and at a given time you can complete 3 of them if you don't have the battle pass, in which case I don't know why you'd care about weekly challenges because they don't really do anything for you. And then you get 4 if you do have the battle pass. Once you complete a challenge, it's refreshed from that pool of 20, so they just drop one in. And then once you've completed all 20, you get a special weekly ultimate challenge. If you complete these ultimate challenges, then you get special rewards. So you get a special camo. The first one was this like golden visor, and then the second one was a special white camo. Of course, there's tons of problems with this. One of the big ones is that some of the challenges are just too hard for some players. Bear in mind, there's a lot of people who this is their first Halo game. This is a game they're trying to get used to, and the only progression system kind of locks them out of it if there's stuff that they can't do. That last weekly challenge, the one this week where you had to get 5 killing sprees. There's plenty of people who, while they're playing Fiesta, a game where the enemy could just spawn with a rocket launcher randomly, in that mode you can die really, really easily. There's going to be plenty of players that never got a killing spree, that didn't get one once. And then you're asking them, after completing the 20 other challenges, which probably took them a few days, then you're asking them to get 5 killing sprees in that mode. It's entirely unreasonable to expect people to be able to do that. Now you could say, okay, well only the best players are going to be able to complete these challenges. And I understand that perspective, that it does make sense that you reward those players who are able to do things that are really, really good. But it's really inconsistent that the first one was just play 15 games. It didn't matter how well you did at all. And then the second one's really hard. And remember, this is the only progression in the game. Now, you can swap out some of these challenges. So if you get hard challenges in your set of 20 weekly ones, you can swap them out. And you use tokens that you get in the battle pass, or you can buy these tokens, which is kind of scummy. They're like a couple of quid or something like that. And you don't know what challenge you're going to get. So you could get a challenge where it's like, okay, you need to snipe someone out of a moving vehicle using the sniper rifle. And you think, oh, I'm rubbish with the sniper rifle, never going to be able to do that. Let's swap it out. And you could pay money to get a challenge swap and then use that challenge swap and get something like, you have to now kill 2 wraiths. And you hardly ever see wraiths in the game. They don't spawn very often at the moment. So that would be even harder and you've just wasted your money. The other big problem with these challenges is that the game doesn't actually let you pick the mode you want to play for the most part. So at the moment, there's big team battle, there's quick match, there's ranked play, and then there's this special 1 week only Fiesta playlist. If you get a challenge that asks you to do something like win 2 matches of oddball, it's not just as simple as going into the oddball playlist and then trying to win a couple of games. You've got to play the quick match playlist, then just hope that oddball comes up, and then hope that when it does come up, you win that match, or you win 2 of those matches. And that's incredibly hard, and it's really tedious, especially if that's one of your last challenges you've got left. You just need to keep on going through again and again and again until you get the game mode you want. And obviously this is leading to loads of people just quitting if it's not the game mode they want. The other big problem with this, which I think was obvious to everyone straight away, is that people are only going to be doing the challenges because that's the only progression system. So if you've got a challenge that says get 5 splatters, you're probably going to go into games with vehicles in, so big team battle, and you're just going to hop in the nearest vehicle and drive at the enemy, try to get a couple of kills, die, waste the vehicle, respawn, get in another vehicle and just do the same thing, regardless of what the objective is. That doesn't matter because you don't get any experience for doing the objective. So what are 343 doing about it so far? The first thing they did very early on was they added a special repeatable daily challenge that you can just keep repeating as many times as you want, where if you complete a game you get 50 experience. Now that meant there was something, so you didn't end the game and feel like you didn't achieve anything at all, but because a battle pass level is 1,000 experience, that meant you had to play 20 games to get 1 battle pass level if you weren't doing other challenges and things like that. Yesterday they announced a new change that's going live at 6 PM today UK time, and that's going to affect how much experience you get for your first 6 matches of each day. So on your first match of the day you will get 300 experience now, second one 200, third one 200, fourth, fifth and sixth ones 100, and then from then on you'll go back to getting 50 experience. That means if you play 6 games a day, you're guaranteed to go up a Battle Pass level regardless of how well you do in it. Now John Unishek did say that there's larger changes coming, but they're going to take time because like they had Thanksgiving break last week and then they said they're going to start working on this. So it seems like even though I get this is a beta, this is like the early access for the game, I don't think this is going to change dramatically for next week when the game launches on the 8th. My big issue with these changes is that they're just rewarding you for completing games and that's it. And in my experience in the past, if you have the main set of rewards for a game being just for taking part, you get AFK players, you get players who don't care about objective, they don't care about winning. It doesn't matter. As long as they are there and present in the game, they get the experience. You'll get people finding creative ways to AFK, you know, tying rubber bands to their controllers so they run around in circles and stuff like that. And then just leaving it on for 6 games a day because why not? It doesn't matter how well they do. There's no stats or anything that's going to ruin for them. It'll just get them all of the experience. It'll also mess up games for all of the other players in that game. I really think these XP changes are good, but they should have been doubled and only being there if you win games. So if you win 6 games in a day, then you could get 2 Battle Pass levels. That seems fair to me. And if you lose the games, then you only get 50 XP per game. So it goes back to the old system. That way, if people want to maximize their time, then they will be trying to win games. It means people will play the objective modes, like actually playing the objectives and trying to win. And I think it will make the game a lot more fun for everyone. It seems utterly bizarre to me that they're still not doing any rewards for winning whatsoever. The Battle Pass feels utterly miserly. There's 100 levels in the Battle Pass. Plenty of the rewards are just tiny little armor changes that like feel like they're just filling up slots. So you might get something that's like the left shoulder pad and then you'll get the right shoulder pad in a separate thing, whereas it could just be the shoulder pads. Like you could just get one thing that's the shoulder pads for that armor set. That could be one reward. You also have the problem that loads of the armor changes, or pretty much all of them, only work with one armor core. So if, say, you're using one armor core that you bought on the store, for example, you paid money for an armor core, and we'll talk about the store in a little bit, and then you're doing the Battle Pass, you're going to get loads of stuff that you can't use with that thing that you just paid money for. Like, they're just literally completely useless to you. We also know that this is the only Battle Pass we're going to get until May 2022. So these rewards are all we're getting. We can kind of see them all laid out in front of us for the next few months. And we know that like they're not great, and we know that like there's not much to look forward to. There's a couple of cool armor effects right near the end of them where you have like the flaming helmet and stuff like that, but they're a long way away, and between now and then there's just loads of different bits of armor that look a bit like the people from Reach, but not really, because the sort of Spartan models are quite different. The special Fractures event that started last week also has massive problems. So this was like their first event type thing. They're talking about doing loads of these where they're called Fractures, and the idea that it's like alternate universes, so you have slightly different twists on the Halo Spartan armor as rewards. So like this one was all kind of samurai themed, obviously, so you had vaguely samurai looking armor. Now there's 30 levels in this Battle Pass. It was completely free, which is good, but to get up in those Battle Pass levels, rather than using experience like the other one does, you have to complete special Fractures challenges, which were just mixed in with your weekly challenges. So you had your 20 challenges for the week, and 7 of those were special Fractures ones. And for each one you complete, you move up 1 Battle Pass level. Now lots of you will notice the immediate problem that there's 30 levels and you can only go up 7 this week. Well, this event's going to come back for 6 different weeks across the year, across this first season. So the next time we'll be able to do this is in January. At the end of today, so at 6 PM today, they're taking away the Fiesta playlist, which lots of people won't like because it's a game mode that they really like playing, and they're taking away any possibility of moving up in the Fractures event stuff, so you can't get any of the stuff past the 7th level of that event. And that Battle Pass, out of those 30 levels, again, loads of them are just rubbish. About half of them are just XP grants and things like that, just things that don't really matter. And then a bunch of the others are just tiny bits on the armor that no one really cares about, or things that are kind of ugly. All of these problems are partly solved by the idea, well, you can just go in a store and buy armor sets that you want. If you see an armor set you really like, or you want an armor coating that you want that's not ugly, and you don't want to mess with challenges, just pay for them. The store is horrendously expensive. Like, I would say it makes Warzone look good. At least in Warzone, if you pay like 16 quid for a set, you're probably going to get a specialist skin, you're probably going to get some new finishing move, you're going to get a couple of weapon skins, you're going to get some emblems, calling cards, stuff like that. It's still ridiculously expensive, don't get me wrong. I think the Warzone store is horrendously expensive too. But in the Halo Infinite store, you can spend that same amount of money and just get one armor core with maybe 2 different bits of armor for it, or like a coating for it. All in all, Halo Infinite's progression just doesn't feel rewarding at all, and that's a real disappointment. For what it's worth, these are the changes I would like to see. So 5 changes I would really like to see them make. The first one, make armor coatings and visor colors apply to every armor kit. If you get a coating, you should be able to use that on whatever set of armor you want. The second one, add a player level with calling card and emblem rewards. I'd really like to be able to see my own level. I'd like to feel like I'm progressing, making that number keep going up, and I'd really like to see the levels of other players in my lobby. The third one, maybe add some special rewards for the ranked modes. There's a cool ranked system that's been there since launch, which is very, very cool, but it'd be nice if maybe you got some armor effects or something like that that reflects your ranks, like a gold effect if you're in gold. The fourth one, add weapon progression with weapon coatings. I honestly don't understand why games don't just copy Call of Duty. It's got a great weapon camo system. It obviously keeps players engaged because so many people talk about it. So many people spend so long trying to get all of the camos for all of the different guns. Why not do that in Halo? It would encourage people to use different guns. It would encourage people to, spend time working out how to really get the best out of each of the guns. And it would be a really fun way to do it. And then the fifth one, also kind of copied a bit from Call of Duty, have special career challenges. So not weekly challenges, not daily challenges, but things like, okay, you've got this medal so many times, or you've got this really hard to get medal. Here, have a calling card that lets you show it off. Just some way to show off the really sort of rare accomplishments you've done, I think would be very, very cool. I do love Halo Infinite, I really, really do, and I want to see it succeed, but I'm really worried this sort of problem with progression is taking over the discourse around the game a little bit, and rightfully so, because it is kind of annoying when you get to the end of a match and feel like you haven't really done anything, that you haven't made any progress. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out the other Halo videos on my channel. I've got a really cool one that should be on the screen now that is talking about a special super rare achievement only like 0.39% of people have, and you can get it by completing an Easter egg in the tutorial.